also available at Nexus Care Nehru and Seawoods. Today the topic of discussion is how to choose an IVF clinic. So choosing an IVF clinic is a tricky situation. Considering the nature of IVF treatment, it is very important to make the right decision. So how do I do that? So a patient, before even visiting the fertility consult, should do some homework. They should do some research of their own. So you have Google at hand, you just whichever clinic you decide to go, start searching about the details. So what should you be looking at the fertility clinic? So the first thing is the fertility consultant. Rather than looking at the brand, look at your fertility consultant first, because he or she is the one who will be treating you, or who will be dealing with your embryos, or who will be dealing with your problems. So first, the knowledge, you should have a knowledge about your fertility consultant. So what is their qualification? Are they certified? Are they experienced? What is their success rate? Okay, so this is the most important thing. So the next thing is the embryologist. So once you come and visit the fertility consultant, you have to always come with certain set of questions to ask. So the first important thing is, what about the embryologist? Who is an embryologist? So embryologist is an expert who is trained in handling sperms, eggs, embryos in the lab, and he is also the one who will be managing your lab. So wherever the fertility clinic you visit, they should have a dedicated embryologist with them. And you can also ask what is the experience, how many cycles have been done, what is the success rate with him. So this is the second thing you should be looking at. The third thing is the success rate. So every embryology lab or every IVF clinic will be maintaining their monthly, yearly or quarterly yearly success rate. So you have to look at the success rate. So you have to understand, even in the world, the maximum success rate of IVF is 35 to 45%. So don't fall prey to somebody who is claiming my success rate is 100%. Okay, so in India, the documentation of the success rate of IVF clinic is not yet 100%, but in future, after application of the ART law, it is going to be available at ICMR site even for Indian population to look. They can go to the ICMR site and they can cross check the success rate of each IVF clinics. So we are there. So anyway, so look at the success rate of the IVF clinic. And what is the next thing? Next thing should be how is your embryology lab? Embryology lab is most important part in during your IVF treatment. So in embryology lab, you should be asking, is your embryology lab running every day of the month? See, certain hospital, what they do is they run the IVF lab for about 10 days and then they close for next 20 days. Whenever the patient comes, they run and they close it. So that is not the ideal way. So there are certain temperature, pressure, humidity, everything needs to be maintained. So you have to choose a IVF clinic where your embryology lab is running every day in a month. Okay, and then you should be asking is, how advanced is your embryology lab? There are three things that must be there according to the recent advances. One is, do they do ICSI? Okay, the next thing is, do they offer you freezing services? And last but not least is, do they have the facility for day 5 embryo culture? See, the studies have proven that these will help you in success rate of pregnancy. So advanced lab should have these things. There are many other advanced things, but at least must and should they have all this technology in their lab to give you a better pregnancy outcome. The next thing you have to look at is the supporting staff. Are they polite? Are they answering all your questions? Are they friendly? Okay, so because apart from the doctor, these are the supporting staff, the receptionist, the nurse, so the other personals will be one you have to deal on a daily to daily basis. So you have to look how is their behavior to, are they patient enough to answering your questions? They are, and they should. So the next thing you should be looking at is the emergency services. If you have any emergency like a bleeding or a pain, are there any services to attend your call? So that is the one you should be looking. And the next thing is, how are they practicing transparent and ethical? The next thing you have to look at is the supporting staff. So are they polite, friendly and patient? They should be patient enough to clear all your doubts. And apart from the doctor, these are the supporting staff like nurse or then IVF nurse, receptionist. You have to deal with them daily to daily basis, so you should be happy with their behavior. So that is very important thing. The next thing is emergency services. You should be asking if there is an emergency situation like a pain or a bleeding or any other queries. So do we have any option of the services available at any time of the day? So the next thing is how is their practice? What does that mean? I mean to say, are they following transparent and ethical practice? This is a very important question to ask, or very important aspect to look at the IVF clinic, because see, your embryos or your egg or sperms doesn't have face. So somebody in the lab will be handling all that. So you should be knowing, and this is the very common questions that is asked by the patients, like do you do everything ethically, do you do everything properly, and how can you evaluate just by talking or just by looking how the practice. See, if the IVF clinic is following these steps which I am going to mention, there is a high chances that it is a good clinic. They are following transparent and ethical. So what are the signs? So these are, if they are explaining it to you everything, what is the procedure that is going to happen to you, what is your diagnosis, what is the treatment option, everything in detail. Whenever they are taking the consent, are they explaining it to you? Why are they taking your sign? Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the procedures that you are going through? And next thing is, not only verbal information, everything needs to be documented. And whenever they are giving you the treatment or the discharge card, everything is to be documented properly. For example, how many injections have you taken, what are the doses of the injection, and how many eggs have been retrieved, how much was the sperm count, how many embryos are formed, and what happened to each and every embryo that has been formed. Okay, all that has to be printed and given to you. If some clinic is following all these things, that means it is a sign of transparent and ethical practice. So that is a very good sign, and that is the kind of IVF clinic that you should be choosing. And the last but not the least is the cost of treatment. I am aware that IVF is a costly treatment, but then this cost also varies. It also depends on the patient profile, it depends on the drugs, it depends on the quality of the services, embryology lab services that is being provided. So the main thing that you have to look is, what is the cost effectiveness of the treatment. Just because it is a cheaper treatment but they are providing a lesser success rate, or they are just taking too long to provide you the treatment, so you should not fall prey to that. You have to see the cost effectiveness. That means the monetary investment, the emotional investment and the time investment that you are doing, and what are you getting out of it. See, so, and if whenever you visit, you should also ask if there is any option of EMI payment, which will help you financially. That is the one thing you can ask. So to summarize, so please do not fall prey for all the marketing propaganda or their offer saying that do one get one free, do 3 cycles, or we are pay so much and get baby in hand. Those are all marketing strategies and they're not scientific. So know how to choose and choose properly. So good luck with your fertility journey.